LeetCode problem 1561, maximum number of coins you can get. This is a algorithm problem of medium difficulty, and we are given 3n piles of coins of varying size, and you and your friends will take the piles of coins with the following conditions. In each step, you will choose any 3 piles of coins, not necessarily consecutive. Of your choice, Alice will pick the pile with the maximum number of coins. Then you will pick the next pile with the maximum number of coins, and Bob will pick the last pile. Repeat until there are no more piles of coins. So in this problem, we're given an array of integers, and each integer represents a number of coins. And what we want is to get the maximum number for ourselves. So this is an example given by LeetCode, and the result we're going to look for is 18. The answer is given to us. So let's run through this array just by splitting it into thirds and divvying up the coins. So we're going to split it into thirds, and first pick goes to Alice, and she'll take the 9. Then we're going to pick the 8, and then Bob's going to take the 7. We're going to repeat this for the remaining 2/3. Alice will take the 6, we'll take the 5, Bob will take the 1, Alice will take the 4, we'll take the 3, and Bob will take the 2. So in this example, we're going to get 8, 5, and 3, which adds up to 16. So this isn't going to give us the result we're looking for. And the biggest problem I see when looking at this is that Bob's getting a pile of 7 coins, which is the third biggest number in the given input. So if we were to switch this 7 with, say, this 3, Bob would get 3 coins here. Alice, instead of taking 4, would take 7 coins here. And then we would take this 4, which would increase our result by 1 to 17, which doesn't give us our answer, but it gives us a good idea of what we should be doing. And that's ensuring that Bob takes the minimum number of coins just overall, and the rest is divvied up between you and Alice. So the first thing we want to do is sort this array. And what this is going to do is pretty much allocate the lowest third to Bob. If we sort in descending order, we're going to get all our biggest numbers first. And then in this final third, we don't have to worry about that because that's just going to be given to Bob. So now when we divvy the coins up, we can give the first value in the array to Alice, and then we can take the 8. And now that it's Bob's turn, we can make sure that he picks from his allotment. So we're just going to say he takes the 3 here. Now it's Alice's turn, and she's going to take the 7. And we're going to take the 6, and Bob can take the 2. And Alice will take the 5. We'll take the 4, and Bob will take the 1. So this gives us 8, 6, and 4, which is equal to the 18 we were looking for. So now that we have this diagrammed out to our liking, how are we going to use this in code? So let's go back. The first thing we wanted to do was sort the piles in descending order. So we want the biggest numbers at the front and Bob's smaller piles at the end. And now we want to divvy up the piles. So to do that, we're going to loop through the array, but we want to stop at a specific point. We don't want to loop through the entire array. We just want to stop right here before we reach Bob's allotment. So we're going to set a length variable equal to piles.length times 2/3. This will make sure that the final third doesn't get touched and is just given to Bob. And to keep track of our running total, we can just create a result variable that is set to 0. So as we pass through this array, we're going to add the 8, we're going to add the 6, and we're going to add the 4, and this will get us the 18 that we want. So now that this is completely diagrammed, let's go to the code and type this up. So as we said, the first thing we want to do is set a result variable to 0 so we can keep track of our piles. And then we want a length variable, which is going to be equal to piles.length times 2/3. And we want to return this result as our answer. Now we want to sort the piles in descending order. And this will make sure that the larger numbers are at the front, and that's what we will be taking from. And now we want to loop through our array. So we're going to create a for loop. I'm going to say let I equal 0. I is less than length, and we're going to increment I by 1 at each pass. And now, since we're checking through the first 2/3, we know that the first index, which is 0, is going to be given to Alice. And then the next index, which is 1, is going to be given to us. So what we want to look for is odd indexes. All the indexes that are even are going to be given to Alice, and all the odds will be given to us. So we're going to look for odds in this loop. So what we can do is set a conditional if I mod 2 is equal to 1, so this is going to check if the index is odd. Then we want to increase our result variable by, we want to increase it by the piles index value. So now I'm going to run this with the test cases to see if we have any mistakes with our code. And we're getting an accepted message. But I do want to make a change with this for loop. Let's refactor this a little bit. So we know we only want to look at the odd indexes. So instead of looping through all the indexes, let's just loop through the odd indexes. So what we can do is set I to 1. So we're going to start at 1. And then instead of incrementing by 1, we can increment by 2. So after the first pass of 1, we're going to move to 3. So we're only going to be looking at the odd indexes, which means this conditional is unneeded. So we can just remove it. And our for loop is just going to look like this. And that is all the refactoring we're going to need to do here. So let's run this with the test cases just to make sure there's no errors. And we get accepted for all the test cases. So now I'm going to submit this answer and see what we get. And we are getting a success message, some great runtime, some not so great memory usage, but that's okay. And that's going to do it for problem 1561, maximum number of coins you can get. If you have any questions, if you have an answer of your own, or if you have any improvements to my code, please leave them in the comments below. And thanks again for watching.